4.7 million years ago, Earth was a place of both wonder and terror. The air was heavy with the scent of wild vegetation. Volcanic smoke drifted into vast skies. Herds of massive animals roamed the open plains, and predators lurked in the shadows. There were no cities, no fire, no walls to protect the vulnerable. Every sunrise was uncertain. Every night carried danger. And yet, in this harsh and merciless world, a fragile species began its story. These were not warriors with claws or fangs. They were small, vulnerable, and often prey. But they possessed something extraordinary, something that would one day change the fate of the planet. The power of adaptation and the spark of intelligence. This is the story of how the earliest humans survived and how their struggle became the foundation of our civilization. The Earth of 4.7 million years ago was unforgiving. Seasons shifted violently. Long droughts turned fertile lands into barren dust, while sudden rains unleashed floods that swept away entire habitats. Danger was everywhere. Saber-toothed predators stalked the grasslands. Packs of giant hyenas prowled the night. Crocodiles longer than 2 men waded silently in rivers. For early humans, even drinking water carried the risk of death. They had no weapons, no armor, no real defenses. Compared to the beasts around them, they were weak and slow. And yet, despite their vulnerability, they endured. Because unlike the predators that ruled with muscle, humans were beginning to rule with something else: imagination. It began with stone. A sharp rock fractured against another created an edge. Simple, but deadly. With it, humans could cut through flesh, strip bark from trees, or crack open bones to reach the rich marrow within. These tools were more than objects. They were survival made tangible. A broken stone became a knife. A branch became a spear. A cave became shelter. Slowly, humans learned to bend the environment to their will. Where others suffered from hunger, humans scavenged. Where others froze, they found warmth. Where others ran, they stood and fought with ingenuity. Every tool was a small victory, and every victory was a step closer to the rise of civilization. But the greatest discovery was not a tool made of stone. It was the strength of each other. Alone, survival was nearly impossible, but together, humans became formidable. In groups, they could surround prey, defend their young, and protect the weak. A lone human was fragile. A tribe was unstoppable. Around the first flickers of fire, humans began to share more than warmth. They shared stories, warnings, and lessons. Gestures turned into sounds. Sounds grew into patterns. The roots of language were forming. And with communication came culture. Cooperation wasn't just survival, it was the beginning of humanity itself. What made humans extraordinary was not strength, but resilience. They endured hunger, storms, predators, and constant uncertainty. And in every trial, they adapted. This resilience was passed down generation after generation. Children learned from their elders. Knowledge spread through tribes. And slowly, over millennia, these fragile survivors transformed into explorers, innovators, and builders. What began as small bands of hunters in dangerous plains would, millions of years later, become civilizations that shaped the world. Their struggles were not in vain. From their first tools came technology. From their first shelters came architecture. From their first words came language and culture. We are the heirs of their endurance. Every city, every invention, every society we live in today exists because fragile humans long ago refused to surrender to extinction. They faced a hostile Earth with nothing but courage, creativity, and unity. And with those, they lit the path forward. So when you look around at the modern world, at the skyscrapers, the lights, the technology, remember where it began. It began with men and women standing on wild plains, hunted, hungry, and cold, and choosing again and again to survive. Their story is not just history, it is the story of us all, the story of humanity itself.